Okay, so I'm going to go step by step for how to go in. Technically, we want to use Clever to log in to WeVideo, but they're having some, I'm still trying to configure it properly. It was working and then it stopped working. So the easiest way to log in for you and for kids, if you decide to use this with kids, is to just go to wevideo.com and we're going to log in using Google. Let me log out so I can show you what that looks like. Over here, log out. So it'll take you to a landing page and you'll pretty much just click right here on Google Login. Okay, and then you're going to use your Fort Lee login. And then it'll take you right in. And this is called your dashboard, the main page. And it's pretty easy from here. So that's login. I created a Google Classroom, so I'll show you that real quick, as I always do. Let me just post over here. Let me move this out of the way. I'm going to hit post. It's in the training Google Classroom. If you don't have the code, I can share that with you later, but it is in here. And there is a WeVideo game board that I posted that we're pretty much going through together right now. There we go. WeVideo game board. Okay, here it is. So there's an educator guide to WeVideo here, which is a Google Doc that pretty much tells you everything about WeVideo. And there's the introduction to WeVideo. It's a game board. And you can practice this on your own when we're done to see if you can do all the skills that we're going over today. You start at the top here and you go to the left and then you come down and you do all of these skills. And you can kind of just highlight the cell. Once you're finished, you can highlight it. And that will tell you that you've finished it. So here, this one, background color, change it to yellow. We just created an account, so that's easy. You go in and you highlight it, then you know you completed that task and you can go to the next one. So that's what we're gonna do together today, go through all of these tasks. So the first task is creating a new project and giving it a title and a description. So WeVideo is organized into projects, and projects are like folders where you can keep multiple videos inside a project. So the easiest way to create a project is to click on the projects tab, which is up here, and then come down here into the lower right, and you'll see it says create new project. And then right over here, you're going to give it a title, and we can just say training project sample. And you have the ability to add a description. Now, down here, there are 3 options. If you're doing flipped classroom, you're going to choose personal. How many of you are interested in using this to kind of flip your classroom and do videos? Raise your hand. So it's good. Yeah. How many of you would be interested in using WeVideo with your students for them to do a project? Okay. Probably less, but a few. I know the Spanish people always like to do videos this way. So you can do it for either or. So I'll explain what each one means. So personal means only you're going to be able to view and edit the videos that are in this project. So for most of you, you can create tons of personal videos. Those are the ones that you'll see that I've been creating and kind of pushing out to help people. I put them either in the Google Classroom homerooms for the students for how to check out books from Destiny or Sora. I've sent some through emails to all of you. That would be personal. The second option is collaborative. So you do have the ability, even amongst ourselves right here, if we wanted to create a collaborative video, you could make the video, the project, collaborative, which means anybody that's shared with can view, edit, create and add any videos they want to the project. Shared project media, meaning if I put in pictures, sound bites, videos, everybody in that collaborative project will be able to see and access those shared materials as well as edit any of the videos that are created in there. So this would be good for students if you wanted them to work in groups. You can create a project, you can name that project, whatever that project might be. You can create groups. I'll show you where you can create the groups in here in a moment. And they can all share their videos together and come up with one video that they can submit to you. The last option is shared. And this is basically where you create your own video and nobody else can touch your video, but any materials that you have, like media, meaning any video, maybe you import a YouTube video, maybe you take some pictures, maybe you have a PowerPoint, any kind of media that you're going to have that you want to share with others, other people can see that media. So you're going to create your own video, your own project, so to speak, but you'll be able to see shared project media. So that would be if you want the kids to be able to share certain types of media with each other. Those are the 3 different types. So I'm going to do personal. Most of my videos are personal. And then I'm going to hit next. And then right here, your media that you already have, and I have a lot, is available, and you can add any of that if you wanted to use any of that media. I mean, this goes back, I've been doing green screening and a variety. I did a bunch of Stephanie's students have used this with their book trailer projects very successfully in her classes. So, you know, there's a lot, you might have a lot of media. Or I usually don't add anything at this point, and I click next. And then the project has been created, and now all you need to do is create a video, start creating a video. Okay, so I'm on create a new edit, and you want to choose blank edit as opposed to a template. Okay, so we're going to hit start. Okay, and this is pretty much it's like your dashboard. It's where all of your media is. So right now, there is a ton of media. We have a subscription, so we have access to over 1 million different types of media in here for free, basically because we pay for a subscription, and I think it's very well worth it. This avoids students. Students really do not have to go to Google and steal material from Google while they're doing their projects. There is tons of media inside of here, pictures, backgrounds, all kinds of things. This is the stock media, and you can see here, right here, it's under news. Let's just look here. You can narrow by videos. There are tons. So if you want your kids to have some kind of like breaking news kind of thing, I can show you. You just drag something from up here. See how I just dragged it? And I drop it onto one of the video lines, and I'll play it so you can see. Can everybody see that? That's cool, right? So you look like a pro and you really didn't do anything, which is really cool about this program. I'm going to start by showing you how to record your screen first, and then I'll show you how to add in all these kind of special effects. So it says, make a short recording of your screen explaining how to get to a website. You can import videos from Drive as well. That's our next little task. So to record your screen, you're going to click on the My Media tab here. And right here, you see record. You want to click on record. You have 3 options. You can record from your webcam, which means students will see you. And you can just talk to your students, just like we're doing now. You can record just your screen, which means they will not see you. They will only see whatever is on your screen, which is the way I do most of my videos. And your third option is, some people say, there has been research that shows when you do flipped classrooms, students do connect when they see a piece of your face as well as the screen. So you can do a combo by doing screen and webcam, which means they would get like a little box, kind of like we see now, of you in the corner, and they would see your screen as well, okay? So I usually do screen, so I'll click the middle one, then we're going to click next. And then right here, this is going to be your sound source. I usually leave it at default. If you're using your Surface or your Chromebook or a tablet, you can leave it at the default one, and you hit next. And then now you're going to get a choice on what you want to share on your screen. Do you want to share your whole screen, your application window? If I click, you'll see the difference. So this is just going to be an application of WeVideo or the meeting controls, whatever apps you have opened. Or do you want to share a Chrome tab? Which tab do you want to share? I usually use my entire screen because a lot of times I like students to see, or teachers to see, where I'm clicking up top. So I like the entire screen. So select it here, and then you have to click it here for the share button to go blue. If you just go here, the share button isn't available. You have to click and then click share. Once you click share, it'll do a 3, 2, 1 countdown, and it will start recording. Don't worry if you're not ready once it counts down, not a big deal, because you can always trim the clip. And I usually don't redo anymore. I just keep going through my mistakes. I'm like, all right, restart, take 3. And then I just keep recording, and I just cut it later on. I'll show you how easy it is to cut out anything that's messed up. So click share. And you should see the 3, 2, 1 countdown. Go. So right now I'm sharing my screen, which means anywhere I'm sharing my screen with you, but I'm also recording my screen share inside of WeVideo. I can stay inside of WeVideo, or I can come over here and click on somewhere else and talk over that, and it will be recording. You'll see right down here, I don't know if you could see this down here, WeVideo is sharing your screen. Do you see that? Can you all see this graphic at the bottom of my screen? Okay, good. So if you don't want that to show up on your video, you can click hide and you won't see that on the bottom. But then sometimes it's like, oh, where did it go? You kind of have to look around for where that is, because that's how you stop sharing your screen. So I do usually leave that up. I'm going to close that down. As you can see, I don't see it there. And I have to try to find it. Let's close that. Oh no, cancel. I do not want to end my meeting with all of you. Okay, right up here, it jumped up here. I can see it here. Oh no, that's my share for Zoom. I don't want to do that. Give me 1 second. Back up. Let's go back into WeVideo, and I should be able to stop the share. I have multiple sharing going on here, so it's, oh, there it is. Okay, there it is. It opens in a new Chrome right there. And that's why I don't usually hide it, because it is a pain in the butt to find. Okay, so I'm going to click stop sharing. We're going to go back into WeVideo, and right here, I can record it again if I didn't like it, and that would delete everything I've done, or I can just save it. And it doesn't hurt to save it, because you can always pull out what was good from the video. So I'm going to click save. And it'll take a moment for the video to load into your media. This is where all of your media is stored. So you'll see this is my most recent video, so give it a moment to kind of load in. And once it's loaded, okay. So once it's loaded, you'll see that was 1 minute, 26 seconds. For me to grab it, all I need to do is drag it. I click on it and I drag it down and I put it on my video. You'll see there are multiple video kind of timelines. The second line of video is good if you want to add notes or things like that. I'll show you how to add text. So you can add all of your video that you record on one line, and then you can add other video. I can rename this. I can say, I know I did a video with like tips in it. I think there was some video I did recently, and I renamed it with tips on the top. So you can rename it, and you can add as many lines of video or audio that you want, okay? And you can rename it there. So if you have like notes or special effects or anything like that, you can continue to add lines of video or audio, okay? So I'm gonna play this so you can kind of see how this looks. Breaking news, and it goes into that. And you could shorten this. So this is pretty long. So if I don't like how long it is, I can just drag it and make it shorter, and then merge the two, green to green, hit play, and then it'll go into go. So right now I'm sharing my screen, which means anywhere I'm sharing my screen with you, but I'm also recording my screen share inside of WeVideo. I can, so let's say I didn't like that beginning part of the video. I can move right up here. I'm clicking and I'm moving this, and I want to cut out the beginning part of the video. I need to move where I want to go. Then I need to click on the video where I want to cut, and you'll notice that the scissors, does everybody see the scissors? Right here, yeah. You're going to click on the scissors. And now I just cut out that little beginning part of the clip. I can move that clip, or if I hit my delete on my keyboard, I can delete that clip, and then I can drag this over, and now I can start over again with my video, and it will start at a later point in my video. Which means anywhere I'm sharing my screen with you, but I'm also recording my, okay. You can do that at any point throughout your video. So if you have a point in the video where you mess up, or you feel like after you listen to yourself, which I do a lot, you say a lot of ums, or you pause, or you just don't sound fluid, you can kind of cut out those mistakes and make it just very, very seamless, very, very quickly by essentially moving this to where you want to go, clicking on the area, clicking the scissors and cutting it. If you make a mistake, you can come over here to undo, and it will undo your last action, and you can keep hitting undo, so don't worry about that either. So this is the video that you've recorded. Let me show you how you can get these cool little beginning effects. If you go into text right up here, you have all these different types of text. You have motion, which you can scroll down, and you'll see all these different, these are little templates, and you can replace the words with words that you want to use. And I just mix it up all the time. So if you click on one, you'll get a preview of what it does. And it really makes you look professional without really having to do much other than change text. You can change background colors if you want, and I'll show you how to do that in a minute. Kind of like in PowerPoint, how you can add some of those transitions in there. Then you have static text, which just basically is text. It doesn't move. Okay, so you can do that. A little more boring. End credits. I'm more about action, so I like the motion ones. Then you have seasonal ones. So if you want to do a theme, this might be good. In Spanish, I'm thinking of Spanish. If you're thinking about teaching about holidays and you're doing a video or you're talking about holidays, then you might want to include one of these special backgrounds. St. Patty's Day. Oh, that's a good one. Look at that one's funny. So excited about Easter. That's a good one. Let's look at the St. Patty's Day one. Very cute. Very cute. So there's a ton of them here. Feel free to go through. You can take any one of those, Halloween. Then you have call outs. So these can call attention to different media that's in your video. So you can have a video and you can interrupt that video at certain points with other pictures if you had, or a document that you have, something like this. If you have this and you take a picture of it, you can, and you put it on your, anything you have on your Google Drive, and I'm going to show you how you can get any media imported into here, you can include in your video. So it doesn't have to be actual all video. You can kind of break it up and put pieces of material in there, static pieces of material, and then you can add little effects like this with a call out just to kind of like highlight or focus on things. So that's the kinds of text that you can add. Let's go through and we'll just look at audio. They have tons of audio that's included. It's free, it's not copyrighted, so we don't want it for yourself and for your students. You don't need to go out to the internet and worry about copyright issues because we already pay and we have access to all of these. So this is all the free music. This comes with all accounts, but we have access to premium music because we pay. So I use a lot of the cheerful for my backgrounds. Happy Friday here at WeVideo and Louis F. Cole. And it kind of gets you in the mood. I've used this one multiple times. I like that. I like the ukulele. This one's good. You'll hear me. Hi. Today we're going to learn about, and it just adds another element. So it's not just you talking. So I like this. So the way you do and you get one of these sounds to your video is you click it, left click, and you just drag it down to the audio right there. And you can line it up. I'm going to start mine at the beginning, and I'm going to click, okay? And so now I have an audio, and I have a video. Let me get a text.
Like Mac.
Got a question, Todd?
No, it's like the Apple, you know?
It is. It's very much like
movie editor, the movie time, or whatever it's called.
Yep, exactly. It's very much like what you see on the iPhone. And there is an app for WeVideo. You can do all of this on your iPhone or your iPad. I know Stella has an iPad. You can do it on your iPad, your iPhone, and it works really well. And what's good is the kids can do it on their iPhones. A lot of them have that as well, so they can download the WeVideo app. Let me just add in.
And I have a question.
Sure.
So down here on the left, where it says video 1, video 2, if we were to do a group project and we wanted the kids to each record their individual video and kind of put it together as one, up to how many individual videos can they put here? Is it only limited to 2?
So you would not have them you wouldn't do the individual videos here for that, right? Mm-hmm. Video, they might all their little individual videos might be on video line 1. On line 2, you might have, and I'll show you by putting in static. I'll show you what I mean by this. So just so you get an idea. So you can always preview your video. If you come over here, you hit the back arrow, it'll start it at the beginning. So just kind of watch this to see how that second video
Anywhere, I'm sharing my screen with
So do you
but
see
I'm also
how-
recording my screen share.
Do you see how the sample text pops up here?
Mhm.
That's what that second line is. Usually you put, it actually can be used for green screening. So if we ever get back to school, you could come in and record on a green screen, and then you can put a nice bet. And if you want to do it in your house, feel free to put up some green paper. Don't wear green. Get in front of it, record yourself, and now you can put a background like you're at the beach, you know, hanging out, teaching your class, you know, something. Or if you're in Todd's case, maybe you're in front of the, you know, and you're teaching civics, maybe you're in front of the White House reporting live, you know, from Washington, D.C. today. Or like you see Joanne, she's in front of her lake house, which is kind of like a green screen effect that she's got.
She's drowning in the water. Joanne, get out of the water.
Yeah, she looks like she needs to be saved. That's a little, I'm concerned by that. But that's what this line would be for, Solange. And I can show you how to do the green screen effect a little bit later if you want to do that. But for most of us, we'll probably use this for text. And I'll show you, if you double click on the text, it'll bring you to the editor. And this is where you can change the text that you're seeing. You can bold it. You can change the font. You can resize it by just kind of, as you can see there, and recolor. I think in this case, we definitely want a new text color by clicking on this A so that it stands out. Change the text, okay? And then what's really cool is, you know, you can change the spacing of the text, you can move around, but here's what's cool that makes you look really professional. You have your start. Where's your text going to start? How big do you want it? So I like my text to start really tiny. And then when it ends, I want it to be really big. And you can move around where you want it to end. So now watch.
And you're taking a-
Anywhere, I'm sharing my screen.
I'm sorry, go ahead. You're muted, Solange.
We couldn't hear you for the
You're
last.
breaking up.
You were
Okay.
breaking
Yeah, I
up.
couldn't hear it either.
Is it better now?
Yes.
Okay, I'll start
Thanks,
over.
Donnie.
Okay.
Anything, Todd.
All right, so if you want to edit your text, double click here, okay? And right here in the text bubble, retype whatever you want to edit. So edit your text. You can change the font. You can make it bold. You could change the color. You can change the size by dragging this. Okay. You could change the line height, all of these things. But what's really cool is if you click here, you can determine where your text is going to start and where it's going to end, how it's going to look. So if you go back, I scale it really small and I want it to end really large, and maybe I want it to end up here. And here's a preview of what it looks
Which
like.
means anywhere, I'm sharing my screen with you, but I'm also recording my screen share inside of WeVideo. I can stay inside of WeVideo.
See that? That's kind of cool. So, and once you're done, you hit Save Changes. So now we've edited the text, we've added a beginning. The same thing with this opener. If we double click on it, it's going to bring you into here. So there are different lines. Each line has the words. You would just change the words in each line. You could change the font. You could change the size to be either auto size, or you could manually resize it. You can change the color palette up here if you want it to be red instead of orange. You can do that as well. And then you would hit Save Changes. And you have some of the same options over here for scaling there that you can play around with as well if you wanted to rotate it. I don't know why you would want to do that, but you do have the option. Maybe for other effects it might work. And then you would hit Save Changes.
Sienna, I have a question.
Sure. Steph.
Is there a limit to how long the videos are allowed to be?
No, because we are paying, there is no limit, which is why this is better than something like a Screencastify.
Okay.
Screencastify, I think, only has a 5-minute limit because you all probably have free accounts, which is what I used to have. I actually pay for an individual account for Screencastify, but the editing tools in Screencastify are not very good compared to this. You're going to get much more control with WeVideo as opposed to the Screencastify. I still use that once in a while, but I really have moved towards this, especially since we pay for it, and it's so freaking easy to use, and it makes your videos look way better. You just have a lot more control in here. It's a lot more professional looking. So,
Now, like when you're sharing your screen, like let's say I wanted to talk over, I don't know, showing notes or whatever from, are there like tools that you could do for like the pointer of the mouse and so that like kids can follow?
Meaning for you're going to write, how you're using a pen and paper and you're going to do it, or you're drawing on your screen? How are you doing?
Let's say I wanted to, I don't know, display my Easy Teaches, for example, and then like talk over them and then write using, doing the examples with like my Surface with the pen or with the mouse. Is there a way to like show my pointer of where my mouse is?
Meaning where your mouse is clear? Oh yeah, I know what you mean, because in Screencastify, it kind of like gives a little bloop, bloop, bloop. Well, can you see my mouse right now?
Yes.
So wherever my mouse goes, that's what you're going to see.
Okay, I didn't know if there was like any special effects to like.
I don't know if there's an extra effect in this one when you do the screen record. When we go in here, it doesn't give you that option. I just know that it does show the mouse. You can always change your mouse if you're doing recording to like one of those really large mice. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can always do that like on your Surface, you know, mouse. You know, if you go in there, mouse settings, I think in here, can you see this? Are you able to see my screen still?
Oh, the pointer size.
Yeah, so
Yes.
let's see, touchpad typing, pen and Windows. I'm trying to see what multiple lines. Find a setting. Let's see, pointer. See if we have better. Change mouse pointer color, size, right? Let's do that. So right here is where you can kind of change these things. Oh, look, I got a green. Oh, I want a pink mouse. I didn't even know that. That's so nice. How's that?
Okay, awesome.
You like that? I love it. That's my new mouse, Steph. Thanks. Much better. Okay, so I'm going to go down. So I think if you use something like this, you can actually see it a lot better, right? Much better. So I think that'll work for you. And you could do that if you're working on your Surface, which is what I'm working on right now, my Surface. Okay, so what else do I want to talk about? So that's your media. If you want to bring media in from your Google Drive, you would come over here where it says import. And if you've downloaded media, you could simply, like right here, you could drag and drop it right there, okay, like a PDF. I'll drag and drop this. And that'll load, okay? You can, here's your drive right there. Import from social sites. So if you use Dropbox, whatever it is, OneDrive, I know Sumeda might have a lot of stuff on OneDrive. Depending on what you're using, you would just click and have to allow permissions. Mine is already hooked up. It might ask you, will you allow, you know, WeVideo to access? You just have to say yes. And then you have full access to your drive and you can bring in anything that you want. So if I want like an image file, .jpg, we'll just look and see what I've got. Here I can bring this in. You can select it. You can select multiple at a time, and it'll bring it into your list of media files. There it is. It might take a little bit to download, depending on the size of the files and the speed of the internet. I feel like everybody's internet. I know Stephanie's been having problems. I was having problems. We actually had to have cable come to my house, but we would not let them in the house. They had to stay outside, and they were able to fix it from outside, thank God. But I was like, you're not coming in my house. So if you find a picture, right, you can drag that picture down to your timeline. You can put it on whichever line you want. And let's just say that you wanted the picture to go between this part of the video and this part of the video. So I just broke my video up, depending on what you're saying, right? And now when I play it, Watch what happens.
Anywhere, I'm sharing my screen with you, but I'm also recording my screen share inside of WeVideo. I can stay inside of WeVideo.
Okay, so you saw how I inserted that picture, that image file, right in between my video. You also saw how clunky it was going from my video to my picture. So what we can do is we can add a transition now to make this transition between here and here a lot nicer as well. You have standard and you have additional because we have a paid subscription. So anywhere you want, you can kind of do some kind of crossfade, and you just insert it there. And let's just take a look.
Video. Can you do that again?
And now you see how professional you look?
Very cool.
Very cool. And I can
I like
dump it right over here too. When it goes green, there we go. And so it'll fade out as well.
Or I can come up.
And if I want the picture to stay up longer, all I need to do is drag the picture for as long, like if you want kids to be able to see it longer, like it was only a couple seconds, they might, and you're going to talk about that picture for a little while, just drag it and allow it to stay open longer. So now if I look at the picture, it's, you know, if I hold it here, you'll see it's on for 30 seconds, 23 seconds, 19 seconds, you have to determine. And then you can just kind of adjust your video accordingly. The transition, what you might have to redrag the transition down, but that's okay. But at least they'll be able to see that particular video for a while. So let me go back to here. Clip timeline, place recording, we did that. Drag media, we did that. Add audio. So we did add the audio already, but there's another way you can add audio. So you can also come over here to My Media, and you can record, narrate right here. So you'll open a voice recorder. The recording is placed in the current location of the playhead. So wherever you are, this is the playhead. Wherever it is, this is where that recording will be placed. So let's just say I wanted to do some kind of recording here, and I can click narrate, and I just want to talk a little bit. So I'm going to click preview while recording. If I would like, I can preview the video so I know what I'm narrating. Let's say I want to narrate over a part of the video. So I have pictures showing, like Stephanie's doing a math problem, she's showing something, and she has the picture, just static pictures displaying. Maybe she's done the problem on multiple pieces of paper, and she's going to go through and flash through the different steps by just extending the timeline with those pictures. She can now narrate over that by hitting record. 3, 2, 1 countdown. So today we're going to learn about X, Y, and Z and how that looks, and here's how to edit your text. And you're narrating over what you're seeing on the video, kind of getting narrating along with what you see on the video screen. Then you hit stop, okay? And you can trash it, or you can hit check, and it will be added to your media, okay? This is the volume of that narration, which you can adjust. You'll also be able to adjust it when you add it to your timeline. I'll show you how to adjust any of the volume. If you hit check, it'll save the recording to the server, and it will appear. Let's say if this is my narration. Right here, this is it. So today we're going to learn about X, Y, and Z and how that looks, and here's how to edit your text. Now, you're not seeing the pictures because it was only audio, it was narration, not the pictures. We just put the pictures up so you could see that when you drag that in to your audio, it's going to go over the pictures that I was narrating. So today we're going to learn about X, Y, and Z and how that looks. So I have double audios going on now. I have the audio and the video and the audio here. You can mute. Let me just see here. Mute your tracks. So when you come over here to your video, you click on right here, track settings. You can mute a track. If you're going to do a video and then later on you want to do like an overlay of that video, and you don't want the sound from the actual video, you want to do your voiceover. As you can see, it was labeled, you can mute the track. If you don't want to mute the entire track that you recorded, you can break it up. I only want to mute this track. So if I click here for that video, it should, I think it'll only mute that one. Yeah, mute that particular track right there. Okay. Let me undo. And then down here you have audio, you have your music, so you can adjust your volume. I usually put my volume for background noise in the 30s, 30%, depending on your voice. If you're soft-spoken, you might want to lower it even more. You definitely don't want the background music outplaying your voice in the video. And then you have the voiceover as well. You can lower that, you can raise that up. You can have as many audio and video tracks as you want. In answer to Solange's question earlier, each student would be placing their video on the video timeline here, okay? Each one, and they would kind of meld together using transitions and things like that. But they may only have one video timeline. You wouldn't create a separate video for every student working in the project. Does that make sense? Good. Okay. Awesome. We're getting through a lot here. All right, so we learned how to add audio. Just in here, I did go over, there's all these different folders. You also have sound effects, which are fun. So if you click in here, hospital. Nature. I mean, there's tons of different sound effects, weather, whatever it is. So depending on what mood you're trying to set, or your students are trying to set, they can go in there. And that's all free because we have the paid version. Transitions, we kind of went over that a little bit, but there are a ton, and they're pretty easy to add just by dragging and dropping them into your timeline right there. And it will push the track away so that it goes seamlessly in there. Backgrounds. So you have these options. There are solids, overlays, and frames. You can kind of play around with these. Solids are just going to be colors. If you want to put a colored background in, you just drag it to either of your video timelines. You can put it here, trim to fit, insert and push, so it'll push it over. Let's see how that looks.
So today we're going to learn about.
So this, whatever's up here is going to be in the forefront. Whatever is down here is going to be, let me just see here how we can do that so that you can see it. This is where you're going to get into, let me just see if we do that. You're not going to be able to see
today
anything.
we're going to learn about. So today we're going to learn about.
I got to get rid of that audio. It's annoying. Okay, try that.
Sharing my screen with you.
I got too many voices going on here. All right, let's get rid of this. Let's get rid of this. Let's get rid of this. And let's see what we have. It should only be one. Better. Okay.
So today we're going to learn about X, Y, Z. Anywhere.
Oh, this was my recording. That's why. Okay, much better. All right. Let's hit play.
Which means anywhere. I'm sharing my screen.
Oh, I still have my, oh, there's my voiceover. All right, got to get rid of it. Way too much audio going on here. All right, much better. Okay, so if we add this here, now we can put a background, and then we can do text as well, like up here. And then the text, as you can see, will come over whatever background you have selected. So let me go back to backgrounds, maybe select a more fun background. Let's do this one. And let's hit play. That's like a little special effect background that you can have. You can do the heart one too. Let's move that over here, and let's move the heart in here. Insert and push. So these are just cute little effects. You can do some of these. Let's do, let me put this, move this over here, and we'll move this here. Let's see this one. Insert and push. Okay. Let me move this here. All right, let's take a look at that. So that's kind of cool. I mean, you can play around with the backgrounds. I don't do too much with the backgrounds. I mean, it depends on how much effort you want to put into. If you're just trying to flip your classroom right now, you might not get into that much detail. But if you're giving a project to kids, they definitely can, you could create a rubric and say that you want them to use, a background to adjust their background. You want them to include transitions, audio, text. You can decide how much of what you want them to include so that the videos come out really neat. I know Stephanie has some really good videos from students of their they're book, kind of like book talks or book trailers, she calls them. And they come out really good, and they change the background, and they have, you know, the audio. Most of them don't include themselves as with video or anything like that, but they come out really nicely. And that's everything there. Themes, we saw that in the beginning. If you would like, you can kind of do an overall theme for your slides. And let me just move you out of the way. You have these options right here. They already have music, textiles, transitions, everything built in. So if you really don't want to do too much, you can start with one of these themes and it will apply it. And let's see what the theme looks like when we go in there. I don't know, because we have a lot of hot mess stuff going on, but it should still apply it to whatever we have. So I'm going to get rid of, there's the theme music. So I can actually delete my audio music, and let's play it. So
Screen, which means anywhere, I'm sharing my screen with you, but I'm
and you'll
also
see it has
recording
like
my
this,
screen
the
share.
theme has, see how it has like the theme kind of going throughout the video. You guys are laughing at me, fun. It's a hot mess.
I'm
But
laughing
the
at-
theme-
I'm laughing at Donnie.
You're laughing at Donnie. What's Donnie doing over there? You too.
Sorry, Cian. We're being foolish boys.
It's normal. I expect
Thank you
it.
so much for this. This is awesome.
I hope you guys are getting it. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
it's good. I'm glad.
Dan, I have a quick question. Does this interface with Edpuzzle? Because you know Edpuzzle gives you, like, the kids can't fast forward through the video.
Yep. Right.
You know what I mean? And then we
Mm-hmm.
can put questions in Edpuzzle, and then we get a score back. Can we somehow incorporate this with Edpuzzle?
So Edpuzzle allows you, let me go to my Edpuzzle. You can see this, right? Let's
Yeah.
go to Edpuzzle. Edpuzzle, I think, allows you to import videos. So if you have these videos, I'm going to show you how to save it. We'll save as YouTubes. So you'll save it to your YouTube channel, so you can then import it into Edpuzzle.
You're breaking up.
Okay, give me 1 second. Can you hear me? How about now?
Yeah.
Okay. So
Yes.
yes, the answer to your question is yes. Once you save it, it will save as a YouTube video. You can save it as a YouTube video. Then in Edpuzzle, you know you can bring YouTube videos in, and you can insert those questions and stop points so that kids can't forward through your video. So I think that's an excellent idea to do. Barbara is familiar with Edpuzzle, right, Barb?
I think she's out or left.
Barb's left?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm hearing from, like, other teachers. I mean, I use Edpuzzle all the time because it's special ed. It's kind, you know, it's really geared towards them. But the great thing about that versus, like, the pre-recorded videos that some people are doing is, you know, if the students have viewed the puzzle.
Yep. Well, you could use, this would be a combination. So now you're doing your videos and you're putting them in Edpuzzle so that they are, you're absolutely right. You get a report of who viewed the video, and you can embed questions for those of you who don't know Edpuzzle.
Great.
Definitely.
That's awesome.
I think that's a good combination of using this technology. And you're going to sign in same way in Edpuzzle with your Google account. Edpuzzle's still free, right, Cynthia? It's still going along? They do give you tutorials. We're not going to do that.
I have used Edpuzzle, and the great thing about it is that there's already videos done there, like
Yep.
for language. I use a lot of YouTube videos, and it's already done. So you can do, you just can edit the questions.
Yes.
And it goes it on Google Classroom, so it's
Yep.
little for you to do. I like Edpuzzle.
Yeah, I'll just give you a quick, for those of you who aren't familiar, you import right here when you go to My Classes, Google Classroom. And you have parental, you just say, yeah, I do. We lie. Google Classroom, we have consent, so they're okay. You log in with your Google Classroom, and you're going to pick your classes that you want to import. Barbara and I have used this for our speech project. We have them do an Edpuzzle. We will have them watch a speech and answer questions. As they watch the speech, they kind of reflect. And here's all of my Google Classrooms, and I can just select like a Google Classroom and import it right in to Edpuzzle. And then you can assign the Edpuzzles to your classes right from here. As
I
part
love
of what Carmen was talking about, and Cynthia, is you can search right here for any topic and pre-done Ed puzzles, kind of just stealing what somebody else has already done. So graduation speeches, this is where we get some of these motivational, and you can click it. It'll show you the speech. Here it is, a YouTube speech. I don't know whose speech this is. Hit play, and you can add questions to this. You can edit it. Some of them already have questions. This one doesn't. There's the timeline, and you can cut up. You can do a voiceover, or you can add questions just by going multiple choice, open-ended, or a note. And the kids can't fast forward the video. That's the cool thing. They actually have to watch the video, answer the questions. They can't just go and answer the questions. I know Stephanie and I have always talked about how kids, like, instead of reading, they'll just go right to the questions, try to answer the questions. It's the same kind of thing here. Instead of watching the video, they'll just try to answer the questions. They can't do that. They actually have to watch the video, get to a stop point in a question. You type your question here, you add it, you hit save, and it gets added right into the Ed puzzle. So I can do a whole nother training on Ed puzzle, but it's pretty
But you
easy.
can upload these videos into Ed puzzle through YouTube. Got it.
Yes. So if you were doing that, if you were creating your own, let me just go back to Ed puzzle here and see where we can do that. You're searching content. You should, let's just see here. Right here, popular channels, YouTube.
Okay.
And now you're searching YouTube. You just need your link to your video, which I'll show you how to get in a second from when you create it inside WeVideo. And then your video will pop right up here. It should pop up here. Let me grab one of my videos from my YouTube channel and see if that's true. So let me show you how to get to your YouTube channel. Many of you may not know that. Hello, Hanley and little Hanley.
Yeah, I don't have a YouTube channel.
Yeah, everybody has a YouTube channel through Fortnite.
We all have it, right?
You do. So the way you get to it, yep, you get to it by
I never did
on,
one.
Me either.
click right here.
No, I haven't.
Give me 1 second. My internet's going in and out. All right, here we go. Can you hear me? Okay, so click here. Once you're logged in, you'll see your little symbol there. Scroll down, and you'll see YouTube. The first time you do it, it may ask you to activate your channel. I'll show you how you get to your channel. Coronavirus watch, sorry. A little humor. To get to your channel, you're going to click here the second time, and it says your channel. If you haven't activated it, it may ask you to activate it. You say yes. So here's my YouTube channel through Fort Lee. And then right here are all of the videos
Oh, wow.
that I've created on my YouTube channel. There's tons. So I also have playlists, which I've shared with some of you guys. I don't think you read all of my emails, which is fine. I don't read everybody's emails either, but I do create playlists. Like I have a whole Google Classroom training playlist that I created. I have clever tutorials, parents tutorials, all of this stuff. So I'm just going to grab one video link so that I can see if I can get that in. Let's do the overview of IXL because I did that recently. Look at this is a video I created with WeVideo. That's what this is right here. And let me get the link. Share. So if I click share, Control C. Okay, I'm going to come back over here to no, not WeVideo, sorry, Ed Puzzle. Ed Puzzle, and let's see if I can find my video.
I'm getting confused.
There it is. Okay, so
awesome.
I'll start, Barbara, just so you're not confused. Cynthia wanted, you know how we use Ed Puzzle? And in
Yeah,
Ed
for the graduation speeches and things.
So let's say you're creating a video for kids to watch. You're about to kill a mockingbird, right? And how do you know the kids are watching the video? You don't. But you do know in Ed Puzzle that they're watching the video. So create the video in WeVideo, and I'll show, and it will create a YouTube video for you. I'm going to show you how to save it as a YouTube video. All you need is the link to that video. When you go into Ed Puzzle, you put that link in, and now you can embed. Look, I'm in Ed Puzzle. I can add the questions, and it'll keep track of who watched it and who answered the questions, and they're not able to forward the video. So you're combining WeVideo, you creating the video in WeVideo, importing that video into Ed Puzzle, And then you're able to add your own questions into there as well. Or not add any questions and just make sure the kids watch the video. They won't be able to forward it, and you'll get notice inside Edpuzzle that they actually watched the video. They might have gotten up and walked away, but they did have to watch the video. Right, Cynthia? That's pretty much what you were asking. Did I answer that question? Does that help, Barb?
Yeah.
Okay, good. All right. So now we're going back to WeVideo so I can show you how to save a video. So when you are all finished with the video, themes, media, you can also add linked resources, which might mean like a Google Doc or something, or a sheet or a slide that you have. So if you're doing a video on solving equations, balancing equations, whatever it might be, and you have a whole resource, you can link a resource from your drive to the video as well.
Like a Google Slides or something.
Yeah, yep, you can also do that as well through here. All right, but when you're all done, oh, sorry, let me go back. I went out of my project. You go out of your projects, it's okay. You just go into your projects and you double click on it again, and then double click, and it'll open it up. That project, even after you publish it, it will always be available.
Sorry, Stan, does it save automatically?
Yes, automatically saves. You don't have to worry about hitting save or any of that, which is nice. And even after we finish it and we export it, you will always have this there. Unless you delete it, this project file, you can always come back in and re-edit it and kind of replay around with it, which I like, because maybe you have next year you want to focus on different things, but you don't want to redo the whole video. So you can take parts of the video and keep that. All right, so when you're all done, come over here and click on Finish, and you have to title it. So we said this was our training video sample, and you hit set, and now you're going to choose a thumbnail. Okay, the thumbnail, I mean, I have the green in the beginning, that's why it's not that good. It basically is a picture of your video. If you have video starting, you can choose one of the thumbnails. I have a stupid green background there, so you're not seeing anything. And here's the recommendation. I would prefer that you choose the HD. This is going to be a lower quality video. I've been doing all of mine in HD, and they look much better. I think they look better. So I always choose the HD 1280 by 720. I'm going to keep it as video with audio. And then down here, you can see, I always save it to my drive, so I have it. WeVideo, I leave that. That's a WeVideo save. I leave that, and I add YouTube. So those are the three that I do, these first three that are coming up right here. WeVideo, drive, and here, and it'll save all there. Down here, do you want the video to be public? If you don't mark it as public, Cynthia, you're probably not going to be able to see it when you go into Edpuzzle. It won't come up, right? So I leave it public. I don't have anything to hide. I'm not, doing anything crazy in my videos. I actually like that other people can access my videos that aren't in Fort Lee. Just waiting. My internet said it was unstable. Okay, and then when you're all done, you're going to click Export. And then it's in a queue. It will note, you don't have to stay on this window, you can close it. It'll let you know, a notification, you'll get an email saying your video is ready. And once your video is ready, this might be quick because it's not too long of a video. I do want to show you something else while this is exporting inside the videos. I want to show you how to fade in and out in a video. I didn't do that, and that's kind of cool. Let's go back. That's exporting, but I'm going to come back into my video. And I just want to show you in a clip how to fade in and out. So when you're in a clip here, you have all of these options, okay? This is trash. I can get rid of it. These are clip effects. So this is where you can apply that kind of crazy effect to that particular clip. And you can do it to only one clip, or you can do it to all clips. This is the sound. So you can open your audio kind of down here and adjust the volume of the clip. Over here is where you can do the opacity settings. Okay, this is where you can fade in and out. So this makes you look really professional. So if you click fade, I have 1 second in, 1 second out. So I don't want to do a 1 second in because it's in the middle of my video, but I would like to do a 2 second out. I usually do a 2 second out in my video. And that's it. I just click off, and I'll show you what that looks like. We come down the end. See this little hash bar here, the green? So now when I click it, you'll see that the video kind of...
There it is. Okay, there it is. it opens in a new Chrome right there. And that's why I don't usually hide it, because it is a pain in the butt to find. Okay, so I'm gonna click stop share.
See how my video faded out at the end there? And that's what that does. So when you click on any video clip and you click on this little bar, that'll do that. And then lastly, this is just the clip editor itself. This brings you into a whole nother window. And this is the final thing. This is where you can do, Stephanie's students use this a lot. You can type a caption for your clip right here, and you can determine where it goes. If you want to do little captions, you can change the font, you can change the size of it, words. You can kind of say how long you want it to come up for. You have some of these similar things with the scale of the caption. This is the audio level of that particular clip. Here's your fade in and fade out again. You can play there. This is your animation of the clip. If you want the clip to kind of fly in and fly out. These are the color settings that you can change. Color keying. This is where you would do green screen. So please select a color to remove. So anybody that's not familiar with green screen, basically you are removing a color from your clip. Why do they use green, this ugly green? Because most people don't wear that color unless it's St. Patrick's Day or maybe Christmas and you're dressing like a Christmas tree. So what's funny is you look at some of our TV studio news recording videos, some of the kids forgot that they were wearing green, especially around the holidays. They had like a green tree. And when we did the recording, it looks like, I don't know if you remember Death Becomes Her, that movie. Was it Death Becomes Her, the movie where Goldie Hawn is in there and she like dies and I don't know. Her stomach was cut out. That was done with like green screen. Well, some of my clips from the news studio, the kids have like part of their bodies like cut out because they were wearing green. It puts a hole in there. So yeah, it's kind of funny, but it, you know, I laughed it because I thought it was hysterical looking. So you don't want to wear the color that you're using. I mean, you could do a bright pink background, but green is really the best color. That's why it's the least used color. Sometimes you'll see blue screens on like weather forecasts, green screen, whatever it is. And essentially you're selecting the color that you want to remove from the background, and that's how you're able to put a different background in it. So in this case, maybe this is the color picker, so I can get real specific, and I could say, it's not going to work on this, but it typically should be green. I mean, if I remove the blue, it's not really going to do much. We really need a green screen to be able to do it. But then when I save changes and I come back out here, anywhere there's blue, you would be able to see through that blue and see what's in the background, essentially. So if there's blue, you're able to see through it to see what's on this top line here. But if you don't have a green screen at home, you're not going to be able to use this. But when we get back to school, I have a big giant green screen. Anybody can come in there and record, or the kids can record. If you're interested in setting up a green screen in your house, you would need to get some kind of large green cloth, tablecloth, could be paper. And then you can do green screening in the background, that kind of thing. So that's the last thing that I really wanted to show you was the clip editor. And you get there by clicking on a specific clip and then going through all of these little controls. Let's take a look at our, let's go here. Let me just see, up here. Let's go to our export. So when you want to find where your export is, come over here to exports. And here's my video. It did get exported. And it should automatically be in my YouTube channel. Let me go over here and move you guys out of the way. Let me click, where do I want to click? Let me go to, let me just click here first. I need the dots. Let me go to YouTube, down here, and then click on my channel one more time. The internet. Okay, here, click on my name and then my channel. It should be in my channel right now. There it is. Training video sample. So it did. So I would click on it and to share. Now, you want anything that's in my, this is it. Right here is where you would approve videos. My channel, I've approved my whole channel. Anything I post in there, I've approved for students to see. But this is the bar. I'll click it, remove. This is the bar below any YouTube video. You have the ability to approve any YouTube video for your students, or it's really all students, by just clicking on approve. So just make sure any videos you post have the word remove here and not approve, because if it has the word approve, kids aren't going to be able to access it. So you just have to approve the video. Okay.
Then
And
get a million emails.
about videos. Yeah, so this is where you do it, Don, right here. You open the video up and but make sure you're logged into your FLBOE and then just hit the approve. And then kids can see it. It takes all of that. If you can email me and I'll approve it too with the link, but you can do it yourself. And then right here under share, you click share. Here's your link to your video. And then when you're outside of YouTube, you can post this in your classroom, do whatever you need to do, and the video will pop up. And there's your video. And that's the link that the kids would see. Let me close that. The last thing I want to talk to you about is groups. If you do plan to use it with your students, you can create groups. Let me just make sure we went through advanced. Double click on your clip, change the scale. Oh, I'll show you scaling. I didn't show you scaling in here. So let me go into projects. This is kind of important. So sometimes when you're in a clip and you're trying to really get this to like cut where you want it to go, and you're having a hard time, especially if it's a short clip, you can come down here in the lower right. And if you drag this, you can either drag it or click the plus. Watch what it does. It will expand that little tiny clip into a big giant clip. And now you can, even though this is only a real short clip, I can get in there and I can really figure out where I want to cut it out. So if I made a mistake at this point in the clip, I can click and I can scissor it, and then I can get in. If the mistake was like right there, it's only a little like kind of thing. I click and I click the scissor again. Let me just click it. Let me move over there. There we go. Why isn't it clicking? There we go. I can click and scissor it, and now I can chunk that little piece out and move that out. And if I keep going, look at how it expands it. So I can really get in there and get rid of any kind of silly mistakes that I've made and get in there, even if it's a short clip. So that's down here. Let me look at my thing over here. Motion titles, we did that. Graphics, background, advanced adjustments, change speed, fade. Double click your video and change the volume level. I think we talked about that. Double clicking, and you can change the volume right up here. Audio level inside there, and fading in and out as well. So we did talk about that. Video, audio, text transitions, we talked about that. I think we did everything that's on here. This is for you to use, like for now, for you to practice. Each of you should have access to this in the Google Classroom. I recommend you can make a copy of it. I just posted it. Just make a copy of it and go through and practice everything. And if you have anything that you don't know how to do, then you can just email me and I can help you with any part of it there. But this is a good little way to test to see if you're able to do everything we kind of went over today. Does anyone have any questions at this point?
Barbara? I mean, that's the end?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I came in a little late. So the kids register for this? Is that how it works?
So kids and teachers, very simply, will go to I'm trying to have Clever work properly. It's not working properly. I've been in email. They're not synced with Clever. So I have to do a whole different way. I have to link it there. It will eventually work through Clever, but for now, just go to wevideo.com and sign in with Google. Okay. I have licenses for our whole entire school. And it syncs up with Genesis. So anybody who's listed in Genesis for the middle school has access to this. That includes all the teachers, staff. As you can see, Stella, you're able to get in? I don't know if Stella's able to get in, if she's there. She might not be because she's substituting, but anybody who's in there has access. I have like 600 and something licenses, okay?
You say you have created a video of yourself explaining this for the students?
Explaining what? Video?
Process, yes.
I might have something that I did. I don't know if I have a video explaining WeVideo to students, but I did record this. I could create a video explaining it, but they learn very, very quickly. Like Stephanie's students, literally, like I went in and I did like a little lesson. So if you're planning to do something like that, I could try to create a WeVideo for the students, definitely. And I can share that in the Google Classroom for you. That's fine.
Okay.
When
Yeah.
we create a video, the only way we can save it is through YouTube?
No, 3 ways. Remember when we hit finish, we name it. Here's our little, we pick our little thing there.
Uh-huh.
And right down here, Barb, you can do it just through WeVideo. It always saves there. Or just Google Drive. I recommend you do all 3. This way you have it so that if you
Okay.
want to share a link to YouTube, it's much easier than trying to save it as like an MP. When you save it to your drive, it saves it as an MP4 file. That's a video file with audio and video. And that's how
So I'm sorry. So if we wanted to post it then to Google Classroom, the best way to do it would be the link from YouTube.
I think so, yes. I think that is the best. You know, in Google Classroom, you could search YouTube. You would just put the link in there. It would pop up, and then your video would show there. Yep, that would be my recommendation.
The other question I had, if we wanted to directly, do like a little lecture, a video lecture with the kids,
Mm-hmm.
do we just turn on, how do we do that? Like just turn on the camera or?
Right now, just the way you are, you're
Uh-huh.
in the video. You would come over here. You're going to start a project just like we did,
Okay.
right? I'm
Mhm.
going in my project. Let me just, you know what? Let's start a new blank edit inside of this project. So
Say if I just want to do a 5-minute introduction of a chapter of
This is it.
the
Yeah,
novel.
so what I would do is exactly, so I'm in here, you're going to come over to My Media
Okay.
and click record.
Okay.
And then you're going to record your screen, or if you want them to see you in a little tiny clip in the lower, we'll take a look at that so you can see. You have to allow your camera. Okay. I don't know if it's going to screw up because I'm using the camera for the other thing. I don't know if it'll allow me to do it.
I get it. You don't have to do it.
I don't know if it'll allow me to do that. I think it might mess it up, but it's kind of using the camera for 2 things. We're still there, right? Yeah, I don't think it'll allow me to do that.
Okay. No worries. I can kind of
But yeah,
muddle
it's
through it.
here, you basically hit record. I'm gonna just go screen. Screen, next. Pick your microphone, your entire screen, if that's what you want to record.
Mhm.
Share, and that's it. 3, 2, 1, it counts down, and you could just have it open on a page in Google Classroom and be talking. And,
Okay.
and that's
Yeah.
it. And then
Okay.
right here, you just drag, once it's done, you stop sharing. It gets added to your media, okay? You hit save. Here it is in your media, and you drag it. It already drags it down for you. And then if you want to add a little text at the beginning just to kind of introduce it, you come up here, you go to text, drag one of these down over here. Trim to fit. I'm going to insert and push. I don't want it that long. A little tiny text. This one might be a long text effect. That one. And that's it. And then basically you'll hit play. Let me go back to the beginning. Hit play. In with a whisper. Maybe a page in Google Classroom and be talking. And there's your video right there. I mean, very simple.
Simple.
And
Yeah. That's.
Yeah, very simple to use. And I think it's good for the kids. I am getting, and I know Rob had mentioned it, it is not required that you do anything like that, but I did get from a student and from someone else, hey, a lot of the other schools, not out of our district, are doing live chats with students through something like a Zoom where they meet and they say, okay, we're going to meet on Friday at this time. And I know Jahira wanted to do that because in Spanish, it's important for them to hear the Spanish language and maybe to interact with the teacher and be able to ask questions. My advice to you, if you're going to do it, I'm recording this. So when you use Zoom, you can record it. And so anything that's said or done is being recorded, and you let the kids know, hey, I'm recording this, no goofing around.